If you have difficulty achieving your goals, if sometimes you're not in the mood, if everything feels hard for you, you probably need to do a dopamine detox. And it's something I've took a lot of time to start. And when I really started putting this into my mind and realized how important it is, it really becomes a lifetime. Back in the days, I would wake up, take cocaine, smoke weed, drink alcohol, scroll, play video game. Really do all the things that are destroying your dopamine level. And one day I really wanted to change my life and become the most productive, best version of myself I could. And even though I was doing a lot of meditation, I was doing a lot of things that are considered as the mindful space, I was not considering the dopamine detox. And it's about over a year ago, I really started doing that dopamine detox thing. And I realized how it is a game changer. When I really understood that my screens were giving me dopamine and I was using social media to receive dopamine rather than creating dopamine to create on social media, my life changed because I thought I was creating content. I thought I was building a business online, but actually I was just getting busy doing things and getting a rush of dopamine from having a few likes. And when I did the shift, when I started doing the dopamine detox, when I decided to not use my phone the first 2 hours and the last 2 hours of the day, and also only use my phone to do really things that are meaningful, my life changed. It's so crazy because I used to just be scrolling on Instagram for 14 hours a week while working, having 10 hours a day schedule. And I was like, where do I find 2 hours a day to scroll? And I realized that whenever I would be in the bathroom, whenever I would be having a moment of break, I would be scrolling. This 5 minutes of scrolling adding up until having 14 hours of scrolling while having a full schedule. And I was like, oh my God, all my free time is just being drained by Instagram. And I'm not saying that Instagram is a bad thing. Actually, I love Instagram. I think that you can learn a lot of things. But one thing I realized that really changed is that I used to disappear within the scrolling. It would be I would need something there. And now when I'm on social media, I really feel the weight of my phone and I feel the whole environment is still part of the thing. It's so crazy the difference when I have my phone in my hands. I can feel the weight and I can see what's there and I'm not absorbed by it. I can hear and see what's happening in the environment. I'm just looking at some stuff. Sometimes I'm learning something about a video or I'm seeing a meme that's funny and I'm sending it and I'm interacting with it in a mindful way. I'm not reacting, oh my God, that person said that, I need to comment angrily. So I really feel that there's a huge difference on the way I'm using my energy and interacting with social media since I did dopamine detox. And dopamine detox also goes by reducing the amount of stimulants you have in your life, which is sugar, coffee, nicotine, whatever you're doing that is getting that rush of dopamine and that that's kind of addictive to you. There's a moment you need to tell yourself that it's better to start slowing down and making a list of the things that generate high dopamine within your life, and then making a list on the side of all the things that could calm you down. So I'm going to say the top 3 things that I know most people consume on a regular basis are social media, coffee, and nicotine. I think nicotine is just very disappearing slowly, but for men, I would say porn then. And these are very harmful things for your brain. And when I was addicted to porn, I didn't want to hear people say, oh yeah, it's transforming your brain, it's bad for you. But now that I am not into it, I realize, and the way I've realized that is that after 3 months without doing any porn, one day I was like, oh, I still really want to feel that stimulation. And I opened it And I looked and I really felt how it was affecting me, you know, like I watched a few stuff and then I was like, okay, I don't want to do it actually. And then I realized how much it was still in my mind. It was still so like as if, you know, like it was just rooting there and just like starting to feed on your thoughts. And so when I did that, the really clear decision of doing dopamine detox and removing all of these things, I started noticing that I felt better. And what I did is that I realized that most of my dopamine was coming from artificial sources of energy. And I decided to replace them with natural source of energy. So taking a walk in nature, doing some sport, doing some breathing. When I started replacing one with the other, I started noticing a shift. You feel better. You feel like you can last longer with energy. You're not stressed anymore all the time. You're calm. You can regulate. You can decide to be super active, but you can also like slowly, you know, calm down and feel at peace. And that's what I realized, that I am so much more in control of my emotions. I'm so much more in control of what I'm doing. And I'm so much more able to follow through my decision. If I decide that, oh, I want to do this, I can do it. You know I am able to work for like 3 hours straight on my laptop, answer to a lot of the people, shift from one task to the other without losing that. Before, I used to be doing something and then I want, oh, I need to scroll for 10 minutes. Oh, and then I would like start working, like, oh, before working, I'm going to make some tea and I'm going to have a cookie with a lot of sugar and I'm going to scroll in the same time, or I'm going to have a coffee. Oh, I need to work. I'd rather to make a coffee before working and lose like 20 minutes making the coffee, or go get a coffee, because sometimes I would live in places where I would not have a coffee machine at home. So I would have to go somewhere, get a coffee, come back, lose 30 minutes to 1 hour just for the coffee, and then start working. I would always delay everything. But then when I started doing this amazing thing of just like, okay, I'm not going to do it today. Today I'm going to change. Today I'm not going to get my coffee. And that really happens when you make that list of the things that you need to change. And what I recommend to people is to have an activity to connect with your emotions. Because what makes you crave dopamine, what makes you crave all of these things, is that you have unprocessed emotions. The resistance that you feel from doing things comes from mental blocks. And I used to have tons of them. So naturally, when you want to do something, you should generate dopamine by itself. But then you have ideas in your brain, limiting beliefs, that are creating resistance and then preventing that dopamine to spark. So you feel like, I need to force it. I'm going to drink a coffee that's going to force that dopamine to come. And when you do meditation, when you do journaling, when you do hypnosis, or have a coach, you can choose whatever you want, whatever is accessible to you. You can even talk to ChatGPT. I'm doing that sometimes. I love having a coach, but sometimes it's so easy to just pull up your phone and talk to ChatGPT and reflect on it. I will always advise more to have a human, to have someone to have emotions, that can have a natural empathy, than have a machine, even though these machines are able to do a lot of great work. Hey, ChatGPT, you're doing great work. And also create a connection with yourself by journaling. Journaling, meditation, hypnosis, or self-hypnosis, something that you can rely on to just yourself, because there are moments where you'll be doing something, you might be driving, and then these ideas start raging and you have to manage them, or you're in the front of an audience at work and you have this trigger, this problem that's coming up, and you have to mentally or by yourself, you have to work on it. And by the way, I'm making a lot of hypnosis and meditation on my YouTube channel, so you can check them out. They will help you. I make them short so people can do it at any time during the day and then can move on. So just comment below if there is something specific that you need. I can even record one for you. I love doing this, and I mean it. So yeah, I guess that's all for this video. If you have any question, if you have any requests, put them down in the comments, and thank you for watching.